Hello dear students, welcome to the business studies classes. In the last chapter, that is planning, you have studied setting the plans, setting the task and setting the objective for entire organization. So, planning is the primary function. Now, the main task, that is plans into action or execution of plan, that is organizing. So, I am going to discuss the topic, that is organizing. I am going to discuss the topic on chapter number 5, organizing. So, what are the various topics to be covered in this particular chapter? First one, the meaning and the definition of organizing, steps in the organizing process, the importance of organizing, then it comes the organizational structure, under that functional and divisional structure, then formal and informal structure, delegation, the meaning of delegation and the elements of delegation, then the importance of delegation also will be covered, then decentralization and the importance of decentralization. So, these are the topics to be covered in this particular chapter. Now, let us discuss the definition of organizing. According to Theo Heyman, organizing is the process of defining and grouping the activities of the enterprise and establishing authority relationship among them. So, defining means what are the various types of activities or what are the various types of work are there in the organizing, and after finding out, all the works has to be grouped together. Now, as I told you just now, in the college day function there are various events like prize distribution, MC, chief guest speech, all those, there are many events to be done. Now, you have to find it out which are the works are there, define them. Then grouping the activities, you group them, which are the works are there, find it out and group them together and grouping the activities of the enterprise and establishing authority relationship among them. Okay, who has to report to whom? Okay, in your what particular department, who is your head and how you have to report. So, that is what is called organizing. So, in this definition, it clearly states that defining and grouping of activities and establishing authority relationship among them. Let us go with the meaning of organizing. Organizing can be defined as the process of implementation of plan. So, I told implementation of plan means plan into action, that is execution of plan, and clarifying the jobs and working relationship. Who has to work under who? Who is your top authority? Who is your subordinate? Who is your superiors? And effectively deploying resources. The company is having the resources like men, material, money. Everything has to be utilized in an effective manner, and whatever the resources are there, use it in an effective manner. Why? The purpose is to attain the organizational goals. The final objective is to achieve the task. Okay, whatever the company set the plans, set the goals, that has to be achieved through the organizing. So, this is what the meaning of organizing. So, let us move forward. The next concept what we are going to discuss, that is steps in organizing process. So, before begin with the steps in the organizing process, let us I will go with an example. Now, during the vacation season, we will call around 50 students to rearrange the library room. Now, there are plenty of book has to be unloaded and has to be kept in the shelf of a library. Now, what I will do is, I will divide these 50 students into number of 5 groups as 10 students in one particular group, and I'll appoint one leader, and each one group will be assigned one particular task. And group 1, I will say, take out all the Kannada subject books and keep it in shelf number 1. And group number 2, I will give the information that take out all the science related books and keep it in the shelf number 2. And the third group, I will say that unload all the commerce related book and keep it in shelf number 3. And one more group, I will tell them take all the arts related books, keep it in the shelf number 4. And the last group, I will say take out all the articles and keep it in shelf number 5. So, if I give them the task to be performed, each if I divide into small groups and give them the task, and if I give them the responsibility, they will rearrange all the library books in a well neatly manner. So, this is what organizing process. So, let us discuss the first step in the organizing process. So, give an example that same thing will be covered in this particular concept. Let us go with the first step, identification and division of work. Now, at the beginning of the step in the organizing process, that is, you have to identify the work. What are the works are there? Identify. So, what I told in the library, rearrange the library books. First, you identify which are the books are there in the truck to be unloaded. So, that is what called identifying the work, and dividing. I made them all the 50 students to divide into number of 5 groups. So, that is what called identification and division of work. So, dividing the work and sharing the work, that is a first step. The second step is departmentalization. Usually, the organization, they will make the work, they will usually divide the work into small tasks where they can easily manage the entire organization. Now, how it is done? So, it is on the basis of similar nature of activity are grouped together. Similar nature of activity which performs same kind of activities are divided, okay, are divided and are grouped together. Let me give an example. A company can divide the departments on the basis of territory also, if it is a large company, okay, large company, and also it can be divided into on the basis of product. Let me give an example, territory. Now, you know Apple company, headquarters of Apple company, which is situated in US. Now, although it is situated in US, it has branches throughout the world, even in India and even in the certain parts of Karnataka also, and they are doing the business entire in the world. Now, how to divide them? So, that is where departmentalization plays an important role. So, the whole India will be divided on the basis of territory, like in the north part one territory, east part one territory, then south part one territory, and the west part one territory. It is very easy for them to identify which part and give the responsibility to the division managers. Each territory with responsibility given to the departmental manager. It is very easy to allocate and find it out which particular regions or territory getting us more profit. And if it is on the basis of product, now how it is divided? Now, I think all of you gone to the malls like supermarkets, more, Spar, like this. Now, while entering to more or supermarket, you clearly see that all the products are well neatly mannered. It is maintained in a neatly manner, and in the shelves it has set like that. Now, it has divided on the basis of the one particular what products. Now, clothes are in one particular department. In the clothes department also, men, women, kids, like that they divide, and the grocery items separately maintained, and if it is fish, meat, the separate department, and at the same time the electronics items, mobile phones, washing machine, TVs, all are separately made. So, it is on the basis of the product, it is departmentalized. For one person want to go and search TV, immediately a person show that go to that particular department, there you find the TV. So, this is where departmentalization helps an organization. The third point is assignment of duties, that is allocation of duties on the basis of skill and competence. So, assignment of duties. So, assigning the work to an employee, it is only on the basis of skill and the competence. Competence means whether a person is able to do that particular work. Now, if account related work which will be there in the company, for that particular work you will recruit a BCom candidate or a MCom candidate to fill that particular position. Why? Because he knows how to do the accounting process. In his educational qualification, he has done everything with related to accounts. So, it is for him it is very easy to do account related work. So, that is why you have to recruit according to the skill and competence of an employee. So, that is why the assignment of duties, it is on the basis of skill and competence. Competence means the capable of handling that particular job. And the last one is establishing reporting relationship, that is from whom he has to take the order. A person in the department, he has to know that from whom he has to take the orders, who has to be reported to whom. A person must know that. For example, in the production department, one employee is working under the production department. If there is any shortage of materials, he has to go and inform to the production manager. He should not go and inform to the sales department. He has to go and inform the production manager, and production manager informs the accounts or finance department that we need to buy the materials for the production purpose. Then immediately accounts department will give the permission to buy the materials. So, this is how the establishing the report. He has to know that from whom he has to go and report, and he has to take the orders. From whom he has to take the orders. So, these are the steps in the organizing process. The first one is identification and division of work. The second one is departmentalization. Third one is assignment of duties, and the fourth one establishing reporting relationship. So, the next topic we are going to cover, that is importance of organizing. Organizing paves way for the smooth transition of business. So, the following points highlights the importance of organizing. The first point, that is benefit of specialization. Now, how the specialization come into force? Now, after doing one particular task number of times, repeatedly or again and again, you will be expert in that particular field, and he will be specialized in that particular field. After doing the same work again and again, that is called the repetition of work, will gain him to be the expert in his particular field. For example, in Maruti manufacturing company, painting painting related work. The body has to be painted. Now, one particular employee begins with his career in the painting industry and start with the painting of body of car. Slowly he will get the knowledge how creatively I can paint that particular body. Slowly he gets more and more experience. He starts thinking, how can I reduce the cost in painting of a particular car. So, after 10 years he gives a lot of information, and you use a skill, how can you reduce the cost and how can creatively paint a car. So, after doing the work, same work again and again for the number of time, he will be expert and gains experience. That is where he will be a specialized person. So, organizing, why it is very important, the employees get more and more more and more experience in their particular field of specialization. Okay. The second point, that is clarity in working relationship, the line of communication, who has to report to who. So, under whom you are working and for whom you are responsible and accountable. So, each person in the organization. So, organization structure, it is prepared by the top management. So, in that organization under whom a particular person is working. For example, there will be an organization structure, in that a different department will be there. Under the department there are subordinates. So, superior subordinate relationship, that is what it says in the organizing. It gives the clarity of working relation. There is no confusion. There is no confusion who has to work under whom. No confusion. Everything clearly mentioned by the top management. According to that, a particular person has to work, or particular employee has to work in the organization. The next point, that is optimum utilization of resources. Proper assignment of job avoids overlapping of work. So, if a work is given, the work is assigned to a particular employees, the company, the manager must see that the work is not overlapped or duplication of work cannot be done. So, clearly inform that these are the work to be performed, but these are the activities. At the beginning I told, see in the library room I have divided into 5 groups, and 5 groups will be given each task. So, if I do not say that, pick the book, all the big book, unload the books from the all 50 members, go and unload the books and put it in the library. All they will do that, they will come and pick the books and throw somewhere, and they will perform the task, all the perform the task, and they will go. So, that is where, when if you do not assign the duties, assign the work, the duplication of work may happen. The next point is adaptation to change. The process of organizing allows the business to accommodate change in the business environment. So, whenever the business environment means the business is a place where it will keep on changing, the dynamic, it is a dynamic environment, it keeps on changing. Okay. You get a lot of competition, the government rules and regulations, there are many things which will affect the business. So, the business has to adopt the situation according. So, organization structure also, it will be designed according to that. Whenever the changes is required, that can be changed. So, that is why it is according to the changes needed that the process of organizing allows the business accommodate change in the business environment. So, this is the fourth one. Next point, that is development of personnel. It stimulates creativity. It stimulates creativity among the manager. How? If a manager transfer his workload, okay, transfer his workload to his subordinates. He can think on the work which is needed. Like example, a sales manager, okay, a sales manager having the responsibility of selling 50 cars. Under the for example, it is a company, if a sales manager selling the cars. If I am the sales manager, I have the responsibility of selling 50 cars. Now, under me there are five sales representatives. Now, what I do is I allocate each one, you have to sell 10 cars. So, after transferring my workload to them, what I concentrate, I start thinking how can I increase my sales, I can boost my sales. If a sales team is not able to sell, how can I boost the sales team? How can I increase the target? How can I maximize the profit to the company? So, this is where the thinking process, the innovation process, the creative process can be developed by a manager. So, that is what it is development of a person in the organization, that is who is there in the higher position or manager. He thinks about, after transferring his workload to the subordinate, he thinks about how creatively he can manage the organization. Next, it is expansion and growth. A well-defined structure helps in the growth in diversification of an enterprises. Now, if the company want to grow further, okay, they want to expand their branches. A well-organized structure paves a way for smooth transition of work. That is, if they, for example, if they have branch in the Karnataka, they want to spread it in north and they want to spread it all over the world. And this well-organized structure, if they have, they can promote whoever the employees are there in the higher post, we can promote to the higher level, and it is very helpful for the company if the company is having a well-organized structure. So, these are the very important topics, that is importance of organizing. Let me go again with the points which I have covered, that is benefit of specialization, clarity in working relationship, optimum utilization of resources, adaptation to change, development of personnel, and expansion and growth.